Captain Jax guided his sleek spacecraft through the vast expanse of the universe. He was a seasoned explorer, respected by his fellow humans for his bravery and resourcefulness. Jax had seen countless worlds and encountered many strange beings in his travels, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to happen. Suddenly, his ship shuddered violently as a shower of asteroids pelted the hull. Alarms blared and warning lights flashed red. Despite Jax's best efforts to regain control, the damage was too severe. The ship spiraled downward, plummeting towards the surface of an uncharted planet. Jax braced for impact as the ground rushed up to meet him. The ship hit hard, skidding across the rocky terrain before coming to a smoking halt. Jax's head slammed against the control panel, and everything went black. When he regained consciousness, Jax found himself lying on a soft bed of moss. His body ached, but miraculously, he had survived. As his vision cleared, he realized he was surrounded by 5 strange creatures who were definitely not human. The aliens varied in size and appearance. There was a tall, slender being with shimmering green skin and large almond-shaped eyes. Next to it stood a stout, furry creature with a round face and small, pointed ears. The third alien had scaly, iridescent blue skin and a long, flexible neck. The fourth was insectoid, with 6 spindly legs and antennae that twitched curiously. The final alien was a floating, translucent jellyfish-like being with pulsing bioluminescent patterns. Jax tensed, unsure if these aliens were friend or foe. He reached for his sidearm, but it was gone. The green-skinned alien stepped forward and spoke in a melodic voice. "Fear not, human. We mean you no harm. I am Zor, and these are my companions, Lyra, Kiv, Nim, and Vel. We found you unconscious and brought you to safety." Jax eyed them warily, still unconvinced. "Why did you help me?" he asked. Lyra, the furry alien, replied, "We saw your ship crash. On our world, it is customary to aid those in need, regardless of their species." Kiv, the blue-scaled alien, added, "Your technology is impressive. We have never seen a ship like yours before. Perhaps we can learn from each other." Nim, the insectoid, chittered excitedly. Yes, we can help repair your ship. We are skilled engineers." Vel, the luminescent jellyfish, pulsed gently and said, "You are welcome to stay with us while you recover and your ship is mended. We have much to discuss." Jax considered their offer. He was stranded on an unknown planet with no way to contact his people. These aliens seemed friendly enough, and he could use their help. Slowly, he nodded. "Thank you. I am Captain Jax. I appreciate your assistance." Over the next few days, Jax worked alongside the aliens to repair his ship. He marveled at their advanced technology and ingenuity. Zor and Lyra taught him about their culture and history, while Kiv and Nem showed him their engineering techniques. Vel shared stories of their people's spiritual beliefs and connection to the universe. As they labored together, Jax found himself growing fond of his alien companions. They were kind, intelligent, and fascinating. He began to see them not as strange creatures, but as friends. One evening, as they sat around a campfire, Zor turned to Jax and said, "Captain, there is something we must tell you. Our meeting was no coincidence. We have been watching your species for some time, and we believe that our destinies are intertwined." Jax leaned forward, intrigued. "What do you mean?" Lyra placed a furry hand on his arm and said softly, "Jax, we have the ability to reproduce with humans. We believe that the offspring of our unions could possess incredible abilities that could change the course of the galaxy." Jax's eyes widened in shock. He had never imagined such a possibility. As he gazed at each of his alien friends, he realized that his feelings for them had grown deeper than he ever expected. He knew that their journey together was only just beginning. As the days turned into weeks, Captain Jax and his alien companions worked tirelessly to repair his damaged spacecraft. The human and the 5 aliens from different species, Zor, Lyra, Kiv, Nim, and Vel spent long hours together, learning from each other and sharing their knowledge. Jax found himself captivated by the aliens' unique abilities and perspectives. Zor's keen intellect and strategic thinking impressed him, while Lyra's compassionate nature and healing skills touched his heart. Kiv's strength and bravery in the face of danger earned Jax's respect, and Nen's quirky sense of humor and innovative ideas kept him entertained. Vel's tranquil presence and wise counsel provided comfort and guidance. Through their shared experiences, the barriers between human and alien began to crumble. Jax learned to appreciate the beauty in their differences and to value the common ground they found. He taught the aliens about human customs and history, while they in turn shared the rich tapestry of their own cultures. As they worked side by side, a deep bond formed between Jax and each of the aliens. They laughed together over meals, shared stories under the stars, and supported one another through the challenges of repairing the ship. Jax found himself drawn to their unique qualities: Zor's grace, Lyra's warmth, Kiv's passion, Nen's intelligence, and Vel's serenity. One evening, as Jax and Zor were calibrating the ship's navigation system, their hands brushed accidentally. Jax felt a sudden spark of electricity at the contact, and he looked up to find Zor's eyes locked on his. In that moment, he realized that his feelings for the alien had grown beyond mere friendship. Similar moments occurred with the other aliens: a lingering gaze from Lyra, a playful touch from Kiv, an intimate conversation with Nim, a soulful connection with Vel. Jax found himself falling for each of them in different ways, drawn to the unique qualities that made them who they were. At first, Jax tried to deny his feelings, believing that a human could never truly be with an alien. But as the days passed, he couldn't ignore the growing love he felt for his companions. He resolved to express his feelings, even if it meant risking rejection. To his surprise and delight, each of the aliens reciprocated his affections. They had grown to love Jax for his bravery, his kindness, and his open-mindedness. Zor admired his leadership, Lyra cherished his compassion, Kiv respected his strength, Nim adored his creativity, and Vel valued his wisdom. Under the twin moons of the alien planet, Jax and his beloved companions pledged their love to one another. They knew that their bond transcended species and defied convention, but they also knew that their connection was true and unbreakable. As they held each other close, Zor revealed a shocking truth. "Jax, there is something you must know. Our species have been studying human DNA in secret. We have discovered that we are capable of reproducing with your kind." Lyra added, "We believe that the offspring of our unions could possess incredible abilities beyond anything our species have ever known." Kiv spoke up. "Imagine the power of human resilience combined with our species' unique traits. Our children could be the key to a new era of peace and prosperity." Nim chimed in, "But we would never proceed without your consent, Jax. This decision must be yours and yours alone." Vel pulsed gently. "We love you, Jax, and we want to create a family with you, but we understand if you need time to consider the implications." Jax was stunned by the revelation. He had never imagined that he could father children with his alien partners, let alone that those children could be so extraordinary. He knew that he needed time to process this information and to make a decision that would change the course of their lives forever. As he looked into the eyes of his beloved companions, Jax knew that whatever the future held, their love would guide them through it. Together, they had forged an unbreakable bond, and together they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Captain Jax sat in the cockpit of his newly repaired ship, his mind reeling from the revelation his alien partners had shared. Zor, Lyra, Kiv, Nim, and Vel. The 5 beings he had grown to love deeply were capable of reproducing with humans. Not only that, but they believed that the offspring of their unions could possess extraordinary abilities that could reshape the galaxy. Jax needed answers. He turned to Zor, his green-skinned lover, and asked, "How long have your people been studying human DNA? Why keep it a secret?" Zor's almond-shaped eyes met Jax's gaze. Our scientists have been researching human genetics for generations, ever since we first encountered your species. We kept our findings hidden, fearing that the knowledge could be misused or lead to conflict between our kinds. Lyra, the furry alien, added, but as we learned more about humans, we began to see the potential for something beautiful. Your species' resilience, adaptability, and capacity for love are truly remarkable. Kiv, the scaly blue alien, chimed in. We believe that by combining our unique traits with human DNA, we could create offspring with the power to bridge the gap between our species and usher in a new era of understanding and cooperation. Nim, the insectoid engineer, buzzed with excitement. Imagine children with human ingenuity and our advanced technology. They could solve problems we haven't even dreamed of yet. Vel, the luminescent jellyfish, pulsed gently. But we would never proceed without your consent, Jax. You are our partner, our equal. This decision must be yours. Jax's heart swelled with love for his alien companions, but his mind raced with questions. What kind of abilities are we talking about? How would this even work? Zor explained, based on our research, human-alien hybrids could possess enhanced physical and mental capabilities. Increased strength, heightened senses, telepathic communication, and rapid healing are just a few of the potential traits. Lyra added, the process of reproduction would be similar to how it occurs within our own species. Our genetic material is compatible with human DNA, allowing for successful fertilization and gestation. Kiv spoke up. We understand that this is a lot to take in, Jax. You have every right to be cautious, but know that we love you and will support you no matter what you decide. Jax's mind whirled with the implications of fathering hybrid children. On one hand, the idea of creating new life with the beings he loved was incredibly appealing. He could picture their offspring, perfect blends of human and alien, with the power to do extraordinary things. But on the other hand, Jax knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges. How would the children be raised? Would they be accepted by both humans and aliens? What if their abilities were exploited by those with malicious intent? As if sensing his thoughts, Nim chittered softly. We know it won't be easy, Jax. But together, we can face any obstacle. Our love is stronger than any force in the universe. Vel pulsed in agreement. You have shown us the true depth of human courage and compassion, Jax. We believe in you, and we believe in the future we can create together. Jax looked at each of his alien partners, seeing the love and hope shining in their eyes. He knew that this decision would change the course of their lives forever, but he also knew that he couldn't imagine a future without them by his side. Taking a deep breath, Jax made his choice. I love you all more than I ever thought possible. And if you believe that our children can make a difference in this galaxy, then I'm willing to take that leap with you. Zor, Lyra, Kiv, Nim, and Vel surrounded Jax, their joy and love palpable. They held each other close, basking in the knowledge that their union would create something extraordinary. As they set course for a new tomorrow, Jax knew that the road ahead would be filled with both wonders and challenges. But with his alien partners by his side, he was ready to embrace the unknown and build a future where love knew no boundaries. Captain Jax paced the length of his ship, his mind heavy with the weight of the decision before him. His alien partners, Zor, Lyra, Kiv, Nim, and Vel, had revealed their ability to reproduce with humans, and their belief that the offspring of their unions could possess extraordinary abilities. Now, Jax had to choose whether to father these hybrid children, knowing that his decision would have far-reaching consequences. On one hand, the idea of creating new life with the beings he loved filled Jax with a sense of wonder and purpose. He imagined cradling a tiny, perfect blend of human and alien in his arms, watching them grow and develop into something truly special. The potential for these children to make a positive impact on the galaxy was immense, and Jax couldn't help but feel a sense of hope and excitement at the thought. But doubt and fear also gnawed at him. Jax knew that raising hybrid children would be no easy feat. They would face challenges and prejudices from both human and alien societies, and their unique abilities could make them targets for those who sought to exploit or control them. Jax worried about his ability to protect and guide these children in a galaxy that might not be ready for them. As he wrestled with his thoughts, Jax's alien partners offered their support and understanding. Zor, with his calm wisdom, reminded Jax that they would face any challenges together, united by their love and commitment to their family. Lyra, her fur soft against Jax's skin, promised to nurture and care for their children with all the warmth and tenderness she possessed. Kiv, his scales gleaming in the starlight, spoke of the strength and resilience their children would inherit from both their human and alien heritage. Nim, buzzing with excitement, envisioned a future where their offspring's intelligence and ingenuity would help solve the galaxy's greatest problems. And Vel, pulsing with gentle reassurance, affirmed that their love would be the guiding light that would lead their family through any darkness. Jax listened to their words, feeling the depth of their love and commitment wash over him. He knew that he could not make this decision alone. It would affect all of them, and their future together. So he gathered his partners close and opened his heart to them. "I love each of you more than I ever thought possible," Jax began, his voice thick with emotion. "And the idea of creating a family with you fills me with a joy I can't describe. But I'm also scared. Scared of the challenges we'll face, the dangers our children might encounter. I don't know if I'm strong enough to protect them." Zor placed a gentle hand on Jax's shoulder. "You are stronger than you know, my love, and you won't face these challenges alone. We will be by your side, always." Lyra nuzzled Jax's cheek, her whiskers tickling his skin. "Our children will know nothing but love and acceptance. We will teach them to be proud of who they are, and to use their gifts for good." Kiv grinned, his sharp teeth glinting. "And if anyone dares to threaten our family, they'll have to go through me first. I'll protect our little ones with every scale on my body." Nim's antennae twitched with determination. "Our children will have the best of both worlds, human resourcefulness and alien innovation. They'll be unstoppable." Vel's bioluminescence pulsed with a steady, comforting rhythm. "Trust in the power of our love, Jax. It will guide us through any storm and light the way for our children." Jax felt his doubts and fears begin to melt away, replaced by a growing sense of certainty and purpose. He looked into the eyes of each of his partners, seeing the love and determination that burned within them. In that moment he knew that together they could face anything. "All right," Jax said, a grin spreading across his face. "Let's do this. Let's make some babies." His partners erupted into cheers and laughter, their joy and excitement infectious. They embraced Jax, showering him with kisses and affectionate nuzzles. In that moment, surrounded by the love of his alien family, Jax knew that he had made the right decision. Together, they would bring new life into the galaxy and face whatever challenges lay ahead with unwavering love and unity. In the months that followed Captain Jax's decision to father hybrid children with his alien partners, the crew of the starship found themselves on a journey unlike any they had experienced before. Zor, Lyra, Kiv, Nim, and Vel each took turns carrying the precious new lives that grew within them, their bodies adapting to the unique challenges of human-alien gestation. Jax marveled at the strength and resilience of his partners as they navigated the joys and discomforts of pregnancy. He did his best to support them, offering massages to soothe aching muscles, preparing nutrient-rich meals to nourish their growing babies, and lending an ear whenever they needed to talk. As the due dates approached, excitement and anticipation filled the ship. The crew worked together to prepare a nursery, complete with cozy bassinets and colorful mobiles that depicted stars and planets. Jax spent long hours studying parenting manuals, determined to be the best father he could be. Then, one by one, the big moments arrived. Lyra was the first to go into labor, her fur damp with sweat as she panted through the contractions. Jax held her paw, whispering words of encouragement as Vel, The jellyfish-like alien with a talent for healing guided the delivery. With a final push and a triumphant roar, Lyra brought their first child into the world. The baby was a perfect blend of human and alien, with Jax's dark hair and Lyra's soft, golden fur. As Jax cradled the tiny bundle in his arms, he felt a rush of love and protectiveness, unlike anything he had ever experienced. Over the next few days, the other babies arrived in quick succession. Zor gave birth to a green-skinned little girl with Jax's bright blue eyes, while Kiv delivered a scaly, blue-hued boy with an impressive set of lungs. Nine's child was a curious mix of insectoid and human features, with delicate antennae and chubby, pink cheeks. And Vel, in a stunning display of bioluminescence, brought forth a translucent, shimmering baby that pulsed with gentle light. As Jax and his partners marveled at their incredible offspring, they couldn't help but notice the unique traits that each child displayed. Lyra's son had an uncanny ability to soothe those around him with his gentle coos, while Zor's daughter showed signs of advanced mental development, her eyes taking in the world with a knowing gaze. Kiv's boy was remarkably strong for his size, his tiny fists gripping Jax's finger with surprising force. Nine's child had a knack for mimicry, chittering and buzzing in perfect imitation of the ship's various sounds. And Vel's luminescent baby seemed to communicate through pulses of light, convey emotions, and needs in a language all their own. As the weeks passed and the babies grew, Jax and his partners fell into a rhythm of caring for their little ones. They took turns feeding, changing, and rocking the babies to sleep, their shared love and dedication forging an even stronger bond between them. Late one night, as Jax cradled Vel's softly glowing child against his chest, he felt a sense of awe wash over him. He marveled at the incredible journey that had brought him to this moment, the unexpected crash landing, the forging of deep bonds with his alien partners, and the miraculous creation of their hybrid children. Looking around at his sleeping partners and their peacefully slumbering babies, Jax knew that he would do anything to protect and nurture this extraordinary family they had built together. He silently vowed to be the best father and partner he could be, to guide their children with love and wisdom, and to face whatever challenges lay ahead with unwavering dedication. As the starship drifted through the vast expanse of space, carrying its precious cargo of new life and unbreakable love, Jax felt a sense of hope and purpose that he had never known before. He knew that their journey was far from over, but with his alien partners by his side and their incredible children to light the way, he was ready to embrace whatever the future held. As Captain Jax and his alien partners settled into their new roles as parents to their extraordinary hybrid children, they knew that their happiness couldn't last forever. Whispers of the children's existence began to spread through the galaxy, reaching the ears of those who sought to exploit their unique abilities for their own gain. At first, the threats were subtle. Strange ships would appear on the edge of their sensor range, only to disappear when Jax and his crew attempted to hail them. Encrypted messages would flicker across their communication screens, offering vague promises of wealth and power in exchange for information about the children. Jax and his partners knew that they couldn't ignore these warning signs. They had sworn to protect their children at all costs, and they would not let anyone harm their precious family. They began to take precautions, upgrading the ship's security systems and setting up a network of trusted allies who could help them stay one step ahead of their enemies. Kiv and Nim worked tirelessly to create new defensive technologies, while Zor and Lyra used their diplomatic skills to forge alliances with friendly species. But even as they prepared for the worst, Jax couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. He would catch glimpses of shadowy figures lurking in the corners of spaceports, or feel the prickle of unseen eyes on the back of his neck as he walked through crowded markets. One night, as Jax stood watch over his sleeping children, a sudden explosion rocked the ship. Alarms blared and red lights flashed as Jax raced to the bridge, his heart pounding in his chest. He found his partners already there, their faces grim as they scanned the redouts. "It's a group of mercenaries," Kiv growled, his scales bristling with rage. "They're demanding that we hand over the children, or they'll destroy the ship." Jax felt a cold fury settle over him. He would not let anyone take his children away from him. "Prepare for battle," he commanded, his voice steady and determined. As the mercenary ships closed in, Jax and his crew fought with everything they had. Lyra and Vel manned the weapons systems, their aim true as they took out enemy fighters one by one. Zor and Nim worked to keep the ship's defenses strong, their minds and bodies in perfect sync. But even as they fought bravely, Jax knew that they were outnumbered and outgunned. The mercenaries seemed to have an endless supply of ships and weapons, and Jax's crew was growing tired and desperate. Just as all seemed lost, a brilliant burst of light erupted from the nursery. Jax and his partners raced to the room, their hearts in their throats, only to find their children floating in the air, their tiny bodies surrounded by a shimmering aura of energy. As they watched in awe, the children began to glow brighter and brighter, their power growing until it filled the entire ship. The mercenary ships outside began to falter and crack, their weapons and engines failing as the children's energy washed over them. With a final, blinding burst of light, the mercenary ships exploded into nothingness, leaving only a cloud of glittering dust in their wake. Jax and his partners stood in stunned silence, their children slowly drifting back down into their waiting arms. "Incredible," Zor breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. "Their power is beyond anything we could have imagined." Jax felt a fierce surge of pride and love as he looked at his children, their tiny faces peaceful and content. He knew that they had a long and difficult road ahead of them, but he also knew that they had the strength and the love to face anything that came their way. As they set course for a new destination, Jax and his partners held their children close, their hearts filled with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. They would keep their family safe, no matter what threats lurked in the shadows. Together, they would build a future where their children could thrive and grow, their extraordinary abilities a beacon of hope and possibility for the entire galaxy. In the years that followed the mercenary attack, Captain Jax and his alien partners worked tirelessly to keep their hybrid children safe from those who sought to exploit their extraordinary abilities. They moved from planet to planet, always staying one step ahead of their enemies, never staying in one place for too long. As the children grew, so too did their powers. Lyra's son, with his ability to soothe and calm those around him, became a skilled diplomat, able to diffuse conflicts and bring peace to even the most hostile situations. Zor's daughter, her mind sharp and intuitive, became a brilliant strategist, able to outthink and outmaneuver any opponent. Kiv's boy grew into a formidable warrior, his strength and speed unmatched by any in the galaxy. Nine's child, with their gift for mimicry and adaptation, became an expert in infiltration and espionage, able to blend seamlessly into any environment. And Vel's luminescent offspring, their ability to communicate through light and energy, became a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who encountered them. Jax and his partners watched with pride as their children grew into their roles as leaders and protectors of the galaxy. They knew that the time would soon come when they would have to confront the forces that threatened the peace and stability of the universe head-on. That day came sooner than they expected. A powerful warlord, known only as the Overseer, had been quietly amassing an army of mind-controlled soldiers, bent on conquering the galaxy and enslaving all who stood in their way. Jax and his crew knew that they were the only ones who could stop the Overseer and their nefarious plans. They gathered their allies and resources, preparing for the final confrontation. Jax and his partners knew that the odds were stacked against them, but they also knew that they had something the Overseer did not: the love and unity of their extraordinary family. As they stood on the bridge of their ship, facing down the Overseer's massive fleet, Jax turned to his children and partners, his eyes shining with pride and determination. "Remember," he said, his voice steady and strong, "no matter what happens today, we fight as one. We fight for each other, and for all those who cannot fight for themselves." With those words, they charged into battle, their ships and weapons blazing with the fire of their resolve. The Overseer's forces were vast and powerful, but they were no match for the combined strength and abilities of Jax's hybrid children. Lyra's son wove a web of calm and clarity over their allies, keeping them focused and united in the face of overwhelming odds. Zor's daughter anticipated the Overseer's every move, countering their strategies with lightning-fast precision. Kiv's boy tore through the enemy ranks like a whirlwind, his mighty fists and indomitable will leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Nine's child slipped behind enemy lines, sabotaging their ships and sowing chaos and confusion among their ranks. And Vel's luminescent offspring shone like a supernova, their light and energy blinding the Overseer's forces and filling their allies with hope and strength. In the end, it was Jax who faced down the Overseer in single combat, his love for his family and his unwavering determination giving him the strength to overcome their mind control powers and strike the final blow. As the Overseer's fleet lay in ruins and their soldiers surrendered, Jax and his family stood tall and proud, their faces lined with the scars of battle but their eyes shining with the light of victory. In the days that followed, word of their triumph spread throughout the galaxy. Species that had once been enemies put aside their differences and came together in celebration, united by the example of Jax's extraordinary family. Jax and his partners looked out over the crowds of cheering allies and friends, their hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment and hope for the future. They knew that there would always be new challenges to face, new threats to overcome. But they also knew that as long as they had each other, as long as they held fast to the love and unity that had brought them this far, there was nothing they could not achieve. As the sun set on a new era of peace and cooperation, Jax and his family set their sights on the stars, ready to embrace whatever adventures and challenges the future might hold. Together, they would continue to be a beacon of hope and inspiration for the galaxy, their extraordinary abilities and unbreakable bond a testament to the power of love and unity in the face of any adversity.